Hi everyone, welcome back to Ballet Express. Today we are going to be talking about the importance of artistry and technique. There's going to be a couple of things in here that have helped us that might help you too. So if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and let's roll that intro. So the importance of artistry and technique. First, we are going to define the two. Artistry is where we take our souls and put that onto stage.
Yes, whether it's through your face, through your body, mostly through your body. Usually when you are watching someone who is a very good artist or very good at artistry, you can feel something from them. Whereas someone who has amazing technique, you will be in awe of all the things that they can do with their body, but not necessarily feeling an emotion.
And that leads us to the technique aspect, which is where the things that they can do are just absolutely mind-blowing.
Yes, turns, jumps, perfect body, perfect feet, just everything is perfect. We know a lot of those dancers that are like that.
So how to find a balance between the two? That will be at the end. So for now we're going to talk a little bit about artistry and how to kind of make your artistry a little bit better.
This is something we feel is our biggest strength. We were never perfect technicians, but that is okay. You don't have to have the perfect technique to become a professional dancer or even to become a star. There's lots of dancers out there that don't have the perfect body but are beautiful artists, and they are just as amazing to watch, if not more amazing.
So I would say first big tip for artistry is definitely feed upon your own life experiences.
Very important, yeah.
So take what you've felt before and utilize that feeling in your body on stage. Tip number 2 would definitely have to be practice, practice and practice. Because using your emotions and stuff, you then have to feel it but also show it.
Yes, so like you would practice your technique, you would practice getting the steps right, you'd practice your turns. You have to do the same with your artistry. And a good way to do that is to look in the mirror and see how you look doing certain things, certain gestures with your arms, because even just doing a simple port-a-bras can really show an emotion. You can feel something just by the way someone moves their arm.
And by using your face as well, like I think we'd stand there in front of the mirror and practice for hours on end different kinds of smiles. So you'd be like, or you'd be like, or you'd be like,
feel silly doing it.
It's silly, but it's something you have to do because each emotion you feel has to come out a certain way. And also if you see it from the audience's perspective, they're looking at you and they're like, how can I relate to this person?
Also because majority of ballet audiences are not always familiar with the techniques of ballet. So I think that's why sometimes it can be even more important to have that artistry skill, because then you are touching, let's say, every audience member in a certain way, and they walk away from the performance feeling something, understanding the story, or maybe having a personal connection to what was going on stage.
Exactly. And it's that personal connection to the audience that is going to make you stand out in their minds.
And also, we're not saying don't worry about your technique. Technique is also very, very important, because
goes hand in hand.
Yes, if you don't have good technique, that is the very first way you can get injured.
So with technique is super important, as Jessica just mentioned. It is a guideline for us on stage. It is basically how we communicate with the audience, but you do it in a very unique way. And the way we do it as ballet dancers is through aesthetics. So having a very nice aesthetic, or what is deemed now as an aesthetically pleasing body line, would be something that is seen or perceived as something very beautiful.
Yes, and this can be hard for some of us. Not all of us are born with a perfect ballet body, and that can be a bit more challenging for us. So if you are one of these people that don't necessarily have the perfect ballet physique, that is okay. We would recommend, to be a good technician and artist, is to first work on your technique. Make sure you are doing things the correct way, things that are going to help you. Say you need to work on your pirouettes, find out what is throwing you off. Once your technique is in a good, nice manner, then you can bring in your artistry, because then once your body, your muscle memory knows what it's doing, and that's where the practice comes in. Once your body remembers how to do certain things, then you can start thinking about your artistry and how to add little nuances that bring in the character or the feeling that you are trying to portray.
So think of your technique as your base canvas that you're painting on, and your artistry is going to be the paint that goes on top of your canvas.
Yes. So it's very important to have that balance with your technique and artistry.
Okay, and more on technique. So technique is super important, as we mentioned before. You have to, or as we have done as well, practice for many hours. Blood, sweat and tears.
Sometimes
rain
it's
down.
really frustrating.
Like you get pain in your body.
Bleeding toes.
Every muscle feels like it's got a needle shredding right through it. And as long as you can determine what a worked pain is, it is different from an injury pain, then you're on the right path.
Yes.
So this comes into understanding our bodies.
Which will be another topic.
Another topic. Okay.
So yes, work on your technique, get that nice and crisp, and then start working on your artistry. And a nice way to do that is to film yourself. Put a camera on, record with your phone. We are our harshest critics, I think. And sometimes you got to have that balance. You can't be too critical on yourself. Like, I know something I have done my whole life is I will look at Evgenia Operatsova, look at these amazing stars, Yana Salenko, and to me that is what I perceive as a ballerina. And then I watch myself dance, and then obviously I don't look like that, so I think, oh, I'm bad, I'm terrible, oh, I'm horrible. In the meantime, I'm not. I'm just not a star like them.
And this is the mental aspect, but we're going to bring this to you in a different video.
Yes. So record yourself, see how things look on you. If it doesn't look good, don't be too harsh on yourself. There's always another day. You work on it the next day, and then you will start seeing what looks good on you.
And just remember, practice, practice, and practice some more. We are going to be doing some live ballet classes. Hopefully you can find some time to join us in these classes.
And where will these classes be, James?
They will be right here on YouTube.
Yes.
But we will share all the information on our
all our socials.
All our socials.
Instagram, Facebook, and right here too.
And our links to those are right down below. So if you haven't checked those out already, let's get to it. So I hope you've liked this video.
You find it interesting, maybe you can apply some of these things to yourself. If you would like more detail on this, maybe a possible work with me video on how to work on your artistry, please comment down below. And also be sure to check out our Patreon page. This is where we go in depth with a lot of ballet techniques, like we could do with our artistry.
So we'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.